It's about time that we had a conversation about Rhode Beauty because it seems like everybody else on the internet seems to be. In the last 3 years, Rhode Beauty has become one of the most successful and fastest growing beauty brands of our time, and most recently have been most talked about in the news because of their recent $1 billion deal with e.l.f. Beauty. Hailey Bieber has built an entire cult empire with a devoted fan following who literally follow her every single move. They crave to be a part of the lifestyle that Hailey has created. They are there for every pop-up, every product launch. They are on every single waitlist, and she truly has created a brand that people are obsessing over. But this isn't your average celebrity brand. They have cultivated a following of over 4 million followers and growing on social media, and in the last 3 years have made over 212 million in sales. But this didn't happen by luck, it didn't happen by chance, it didn't happen because Hailey manifested it. It happened because every single decision is rooted in brand strategy and was completely intentional. So today I am going to be teaching you the exact cult brand blueprint that Hailey used to grow Rhode Beauty and how you can steal it so that you can transform your business into a $1 billion brand. Now, whether you are 2 years deep into this thing, whether you have just started, or whether you have a burning desire, a fire in your belly to start a business, but you have absolutely no idea where to start, by the end of this episode, you will have the exact strategies from Rhode Beauty's playbook that you can implement into your own brand so that people aren't just buying your products, they're obsessing over them, they are talking about them, they are raving about them with their friends. Welcome to the Cult Brand Podcast, the podcast where I teach the It Girl founders, the solopreneurs, the cult brand wannabes, actionable strategies for how to turn their lifestyle businesses into a way of life so that you can become a brand that people truly are obsessing over. If we've met before, it's nice to see you again, and if we haven't, it's nice to meet you. My name is Katie. I am a brand and packaging designer, strategist, general lifestyle and beauty brand marketing expert, and I run the studio Rare Form, where I help businesses just like yours to turn into cult brands through the power of design and strategy. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. Here we have no fluff, no fillers, and no BS, just actual actionable strategies that help you take your brand from snooze to sell out overnight. Now, I have a whole bunch of notes beside me here, and this basically just helps my ADHD squiggly brain to stay on track and structured with the episode instead of A, getting brain freeze and B, rambling on. So if you are listening to the podcast, it's not something you should have to worry about. But if you are watching the video, which by the way, you can do on YouTube if you are not already, please disregard my eyes shooting from side to side because my ADHD squiggly brain sometimes needs a little bit of a script to keep me on track. So thank you for being patient with me, but we're gonna dive into the episode. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that Rhode has been in the news unmistakably for the last however many weeks because of their deal that they have made with e.l.f. Beauty. Now, this is obviously going to have such a big impact on the brand, and I can't talk about their marketing strategy and what has made them a cult brand without addressing this first. So I quickly want to go over the impact that this is going to have on the brand for the future. So for a start, Rhode is most likely going to start to be distributed into some of the big retailers, and not just in the US, we're talking worldwide, which as a UK girly makes my heart happy because I do love Rhode Beauty as a brand, and it means I'm probably going to be able to walk into Selfridges and fill up my basket, if you know what I mean. Now, this ultimately is going to lead to an increase in visibility, in sales, and in trust, especially because they're going to be reaching new markets in new countries as well, which is amazing for Rhode. Now, aside from the obvious, it's also going to bridge that gap from celebrity to consumer, and often this is where a lot of celebrity brands tend to go wrong, is there is such a massive almost divide between the kind of influence and power at the top to the consumer who's technically at the bottom of the chain. Now, because these products are going to be in stores, people are going to be able to touch, feel, experience them, which not only is going to make them more likely to purchase and actually make a sale, but it is also going to mean that the brand is going to feel more achievable to the everyday person, and they're going to feel even more connected with Hailey herself, who obviously is the powerhouse behind the brand. Because people are going to be able to pick up and test and swatch the products, it's also going to take away an element of risk and decision making, again, especially for the international fans of the brand like myself, whose only choice is to watch the videos and reviews and unboxings online and decide which shade is going to look best on us from a video and then order online. So now, because people are going to be able to have that experience in store, sales are simply just going to skyrocket because it is going to take that risk and decision making away. Now, Hailey is also stepping into a role where she's likely going to be able to place so much more time and energy into innovation. And if we know anything about Miss Bieber, it is that she loves a funky little innovative product. So not only are they probably going to be coming up with new ideas, but they're also going to have a lot more time, money, and just general resources to be able to pump into generating products a lot more quickly. And I, for one, am really excited to see where Rhode takes this. I'm wondering if they're going to go down a similar route to brands like Glossier, who have launched candles, body care lines, merchandise. I would love to be able to get my hands on a little Rhode Beauty tote bag, and I feel like all of those things are going to be coming because they're going to have a lot more time and resources to be able to pump into those particular projects. Not to mention, because Hailey has now almost stepped out of the limelight a little bit, she is going to be seen as more of a founder than a celebrity, because again, this is another reason why a lot of celebrity brands can go down the drain. It's because people don't see her as legitimate. They don't take her seriously. And Rhode Beauty, luckily, Hailey Bieber has managed to build an audience that really respect her. And a lot of people see her brand as incredibly legitimate, especially because the stats say so. And clearly it has become a cult brand. But to maybe new audience members, they are going to see Hailey as maybe more of a legitimate founder, which is going to just increase the credibility and trust of the brand also. So generally, I'm also just excited to see the progression of e.l.f. as a brand, because obviously their portfolio has now been expanded, and because they are more of a budget brand, you know, here in the UK we can find them in Boots, which is obviously our just average drugstore brand. It means that they've now been positioned in a more prestigious market, so I'm intrigued to see if it has an impact on e.l.f. as well, which I think it most likely is going to. Of course, with anything like this and such a big move, there are going to be risks involved. I'm wondering if Rhode is perhaps going to lose a sense of its individuality and exclusivity as it becomes a bit more of a mainstream brand. It totally depends what kind of retailers they decide to put Rhode in. I'm imagining UK, we're looking at places like Selfridges, which obviously is going to keep that exclusivity up there, but I don't know. Is because it's going to be a lot more easier to get your hands on, is it going to lose a sense of that exclusivity and the in the club kind of waitlist elements that they rely on? But I am excited to see how they navigate this and where Rhode Beauty goes in the future. So how exactly has Rhode Beauty become a cult brand with such a devoted fan following? Now, we cannot ignore the fact that Hailey Bieber herself has had a massive impact on the success of the brand. She is a celebrity, she is an influencer, she had a massive fan following already before she launched her brand, and this is something that isn't accessible to most startup business owners, especially because she has been able to pump so many funds, so much time and energy into building a team and marketing resources that, again, a lot of us just simply do not have. So we cannot ignore the fact that this has had an impact on the success of the brand. But one of the massive reasons that Rhode has become so successful is because of their intentional decision making. Now, not every single celebrity brand is successful. I mean, the Kardashians alone, think about how many business ventures they have had that have completely failed. And also think about the amount of brands that they have that sit on the market, but they're not doing anything majorly revolutionary. Kylie Cosmetics, for example, sure, her lip kits back in the day created a storm, but when you compare that to Rhode Beauty, the comparison is just not there. So yes, the celebrity influence has had an impact, but I do believe that the success of this brand is rooted in the marketing. So that's exactly what we are going to be unpacking. Now, obviously, I've been mentioning the word cult brand over and over again, so it's important that we have a little bit of a chat about what that means. Now, to me, a cult brand is a brand that is always being talked about. They have a complete loyal fan following, like I've mentioned many a time that Rhode does, who follow their every single move. They're there at every product launch. They are there first in line to purchase their new products. They have a lot of trust for the brand. They are completely loyal, and generally it is a brand that has a massive community around it that support every single move that they make. And Rhode has done this to the T. And I am calling it the 3 pillars of Rhode's marketing playbook. We have differentiation, we have visibility, and we have demand and desire. And together, all 3 of these things come together to help Rhode Beauty form their marketing campaigns that simply just take over the internet. So we're going to be breaking down each pillar, what Hailey Bieber has done, how she's doing it, what impact she has had, and make sure to stick around to the end of the episode because I am going to give you a formula to steal their marketing strategy so that you can implement these within your own brand too. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. We're going to be starting with differentiation. Now, I'm sure you've heard this word. If you're already running a brand, I'm sure that you know what this means. However, in my opinion, differentiation is so much more than just niching down, which again is such a buzzword in the business world. Markets are so saturated, especially in a day where so many people are starting new businesses, specifically thinking about the beauty industry itself. Every single scroll, every single swipe is so heavily populated with product. Now, I'm not just talking about ads, and while they do exist, I am mainly talking about UGC, content that real people have created that features product. Your get ready with me's, your what's in my makeup bags, your general daily vlogs that feature product. And in doing so, these people are promoting a lifestyle that your average consumer is soaking up this content and wanting to purchase the product featured in the videos because they think it's going to make them more like the person they're watching on the screen. Now, obviously, people value authentic, organic content more than ads these days, so this content is just constant. It is all over our screens 24/7 at all times, and we don't even always realize it. I'm going to set you a little challenge. Pause this podcast. Obviously, after I've told you what I'm about to tell you, take 60 seconds on a timer on your phone, open up your favorite social media app, it might be Instagram, it might be TikTok, and simply just scroll. 60 seconds of scrolling and make a mental note in your head of how many products you are seeing. Like I said, not just ads, watch the videos, how many actual products are you seeing come up? And also, do you see any Rhode Beauty? That's my question to you. But regardless, despite this little experimentation, differentiation is how you break that scroll. It's what makes your dream customer stop and say, hey, I'm recognizing this brand, I'm noticing it. And when your brand starts to become noticed, people start talking about it, and the natural GPS that is in your brain starts seeking out this content even more. It's like when you buy a car and then you start seeing that car everywhere, even though you never noticed it before. It works the same way with brands. The first time you see a Rhode Beauty pocket blush on your TikTok feed, you might think, interesting, but you might scroll past. The more and more that you consume content, the more you're going to see that blush pop up, and the more you're going to start interacting with it, noticing it, and ultimately wanting to buy it. But it's not just your niche. It's not just, hey, this skincare product is here to fix teenage acne. It's the lifestyle and the world that you create around the brand. And when you are launching a lifestyle, an opinion, a point of view instead of a product, that's when your brand starts to become differentiated in the market and people start noticing you. Now, of course, Rhode Beauty are absolute experts at this, so let's unpack how they have implemented differentiation into their brand and marketing strategy. Hailey even once said, I know I'll have other celebrity beauty brands as competitors, so I developed my brand's values that separate me from the others. So she immediately went into the launch of her brand, knowing that she was about to compete with Rare Beauty, Selena Gomez's brand, the multitude of Kardashian brands that are on the market, Fenty Beauty, House Labs by Lady Gaga. There are so many celebrity beauty brands, and they just seem to be popping up every 5 minutes. So Hailey knew immediately that in order to stand out in the market, she needed to do something different. So when they launched in 2022, they didn't introduce a whole extensive line of 10 products in one go or a ginormous collection that you could sit and pick through which items felt most suited to you. She started with 3 products. That's it, 3 products only. And those core products became the foundation of her brand. Now, one of the reasons behind this obviously was to test the market. She wanted to see if people liked the brand, if it was working, if the products resonated with people. But other than that, it was a very intentional move. It made the brand feel immediately considered and show that they were prioritizing quality over quantity. They're not churning out a whole factory of products. They're starting small and really intentionally putting thought behind every single product that they are launching. Rhode Beauty also launched at a very key point in beauty trend history where things like skinimalism and minimalistic beauty routines and general slow beauty were trending on the internet. It was increasing in popularity, and she managed to position her brand to be at the center of it all. When we think about brands that are doing this in the market, we might think of Merit Beauty, for example, and Hailey Bieber has just come along and taken the industry by storm. Every single touch point of the brand, from their packaging to their brand identity, which obviously is something I focus on quite heavily because that is my area of expertise, but every single touch point was rooted in this idea of the routine being something easy and not overcomplicated, and the fact that you don't need 1,000,001 products in your daily routine to make your skin be its best. We also live in an era where skincare is just increasing in popularity. I mean, we only need to think about the whole 11-year-olds in Sephora epidemic to understand that influencers and skincare in general is just becoming huge. So it's really important that there are brands at the center of it all who are promoting the fact that actually it's really anti-consumerism. You don't need all of these products. And skincare can be confusing. You pick up a bottle not really knowing a lot about skincare, and there's a bunch of ingredients and a bunch of words on the front. You don't really know what this serum does. You don't really know what retinol is. And you know what? Hailey Bieber has come in and said, hey, skincare doesn't have to be complicated. Here are 3 products that make up your daily routine. Have fun. And the internet, her audience, her followers have just completely eaten that up. Now, of course, it's not enough alone to just simply launch 3 products. She differentiated these products by using a star ingredient, which, if you know Rhode Beauty, you will of course know is the peptide. And she wanted to become an absolute expert. And she said, okay, this isn't necessarily my area of expertise. I'm going to hire a team of people to come in and help me develop my brand. So initially, her products were immediately backed by clinical experts. And she also started to position the brand as something that was educational. So she was teaching other people about the importance of peptides. She released a series of webinars from experts who discussed the benefits of peptides, spreading that education. So they're not just whispering about the fact that their products have this really cool ingredient that does some cool stuff for your skin. She is shouting about it. She is literally pasting it across every single platform that she has and saying, hey, we're here and we do this thing. And it's different to what everybody else is doing. And to emphasize her values even more, they even have the Rhode Futures Foundation, which wasn't actually something that I knew a whole lot about. I knew it existed, but essentially this provides endless support to women, mums, women in business, emergency response, and this ultimately gives the brand a higher purpose than just selling product. And people see that, they relate to it, they're compassionate towards it, and they connect more with the brand as a result of that. Today's market see brand as an extension of their lifestyle, and they want to be wearing brands, they want to be using brands, they want to be posting brands that reflect their own personal morals and values. So when you do have a brand that is out there doing things with a bigger purpose, people are going to immediately latch onto that and think, hey, I want that to be a part of me, so I'm going to support Rhode Beauty. And it might even be a subconscious decision, but even still, those values are there for people to latch onto. Now, we cannot talk about differentiation without talking about one of the most innovative products, arguably, that the beauty industry has seen, and that is the Rhode phone cases. Come on, you all knew it was coming. And the biggest way to understand how this worked is by asking why. Why does she do it in the first place? Why do we need a phone case? It's not necessarily a product that you're going to find in the beauty industry. Phone cases don't feel like a product that a skincare brand would release. So why was it so popular, and why were so many people talking about it? Not because it solved a problem, but because it created one. Okay, hear me out. Losing your lip balm in the bottom of your bag is hardly a problem worth caring about a solution for. But Rhode developed a phone case, an accessory to something that you never ever leave the house without. Now, at this point, Rhode Beauty had already built a brand recognition, and people were already starting to be super involved in the lifestyle that she was creating. So she released a product with her branding all over it for you to slap on the thing that you absolutely never let out of your sight. Specifically to hold one of their products, which was their peptide lip balms, another completely star product of theirs. And what do you do with your phones? You take photos, you take selfies. So every single selfie that was ever taken by a customer who bought a phone case had the Rhode branding and the lip balm On display, meaning free marketing, and making anybody that didn't have one feel the FOMO. All of Rhode's marketing then continued to center around that phone case, developing an entire world that her dream customers felt like they were missing out on. And I'm going to touch a little bit more on it later, but the fear of missing out marketing is such a powerful tactic because nobody wants to miss out on anything. So the more that people were seeing these selfies, the more that people were seeing these it girls, these influencers with these branded Rhode phone cases, the more they desired them and the more they wanted them. Not necessarily because they wanted the product itself, but because they felt like they didn't have the thing that everybody else was having. In fact, the rise of the popularity of the phone case was actually how I discovered the Rhode lip balms in the first place, and I literally have one sat here next to me. Unfortunately, it is the slightly more grainy formula that everybody's talking about at the moment, but I love her. Did I buy her purely because she was trending? Yes, I did, and that is the power of Rhode Beauty's marketing. But not only did the launch of the phone case help the new product to stand out in such a saturated market and become a talking point, aka differentiation, especially as a lip balm. It's not something that is revolutionary, but it also combined the other two pillars of Rhode's marketing strategy: visibility and desire. The peptide lip treatment consistently emerged as Rhode's top-selling product, on track to sell its millionth unit. And the initial launch, which was in June 2022, witnessed all peptide lip treatments selling out within 3 days with a waitlist of 440,000. So that just shows the absolute cult following that this particular product had developed, all because of a phone case. So to recap the differentiation pillar, Rhode Beauty have focused on brand values and positioning through releasing quality products over quantity and also aligning with that whole skinimalism and slow beauty movement. They've also differentiated with a star ingredient, which is peptides, and they've become an absolute expert in this, sharing that education with their audience too. And lastly, they focus on releasing innovative products that have become hot topic points of conversation while framing a lifestyle around it, naturally increasing visibility and using FOMO marketing at the same time. So let's move into talking about visibility. Brand differentiation gives your brand a soul, but visibility is how you get in front of the right people. And Rhode Beauty is an absolute masterclass in this. Now, it's not just about how they discover you, it's about how you stay in the top of their mind and at the top of their feed so that every single time you see them, you're thinking, I'm one step closer to purchasing that brand. It actually takes 7 interactions for somebody to make a decision to trust a brand. So if they see it once, they will forget. Audiences crave familiarity. And it's a lot more than just posting consistently on Instagram. And if you're one of these people that are like, I post 7 days a week on Instagram and it's just not being seen by people, then this is going to be your crash course in how to get your brand out there. Visibility ultimately creates social proof. So when you see real people using it, you know that it is safe to buy. So it gives the brand immediate trust and credibility without necessarily coming directly from the source. We've already spoken about the genius invention that is the Rhode phone case and how that increased their visibility in an organic way. So let's divulge exactly what Miss Bieber has done. It is no secret, everybody knows that Rhode utilizes organic content and marketing to create social proof with genuine results, genuine experience, and genuine transformations. And this eliminates that need to post reviews on Instagram. We've all been there. We've all uploaded the little post with the little screenshot of the review and then get really upset when it only gets 10 likes because that content simply does not resonate with people. It doesn't speak to them. It doesn't tell them a story. And ultimately, today's consumers hate salesy content. They prioritize authenticity. They want to see real people having real experiences with your product because that's how they build that trust. So not only has Rhode created a brand universe that people crave to be a part of and crave to share and talk about, but Rhode actually shares the content themselves. So this makes people a lot more eager to share their content. So they are creating these unboxing videos, the what's in my makeup bag, the full face of Rhode Beauty routines, just to be in with a chance of being shared on the Rhode Beauty page, which of course, if you're a small-time content creator, is giving you more visibility as well. So really it's a win-win situation for both brands essentially. And this creates that feedback loop that just amplifies the brand's visibility. But Rhode doesn't just sit back and wait for people to create content. They have launched social challenges to encourage people to get involved amongst a whole host of other things. So when we look back, we think about the hashtag Rhode Glow Up Challenge, and this actually encouraged people to share their skin transformations using Rhode products. And this was so impactful because not only did fans want to be featured on the Rhode Beauty page, but the internet suddenly saw an absolute influx of people sharing organic transformations and the product actually working, once again amplifying that social proof, which doesn't get as organic as that. They also launched the hashtag Rhode Routine series as another little series on Instagram, and this pumped out even more educational content on that minimalist skin routine utilizing Rhode's core product. So a lot of their content is coming from a really organic, authentic place where people are trusting these genuine transformations and genuine reviews. Another way that Rhode encourages its customers to get in front of the camera and share its products is through something called seeding in terms of PR marketing. So essentially what they're doing is before a big launch, before a new collaboration, they're creating these exclusive PR gift boxes that they're then sending out to influencers. Now, they have absolutely no pressure to post, absolutely no obligation to list it as an ad because they're technically not being paid for it. But what they are doing is creating that hype. So these influencers, regardless, because they are also fan followers of the brand, want to share that unboxing and want to share the experience of unboxing those new launch products with their followers, which ultimately creates a new buzz and a new hype while sharing their new launch collection. And just to prove how successful this is, we all know how saturated the blush market is in the beauty industry. Well, Rhode's Pocket Blush launch had one of the highest earned media values, which is essentially the monetary value of free publicity, of any product launch in 2024. So these influencers received the full range, all of the shades, so that they could swatch them and share them before or during the launch, which essentially, again, created that buzz, created that anticipation, especially as this was Rhode's first dip into makeup. Rhode also has an affiliate program, which I didn't actually know about, and this incentivizes these influencers to share these PR packages and to promote the products because they're offering them commissions, especially because of the rise of content creators in the space and people wanting to use content creation as their main source of income. Obviously, people are going to be monetizing on this. I mean, affiliate programs are such a clever way to get people to organically promote your products too. One other thing that Rhode does that is incredibly clever is collaborations. Now, we know about their collaborations with brands, which I am going to talk about a little bit more in the desire section, but they also collaborate with influencers, which is really, really clever for getting them in front of new audiences. Now, we all know that Rhode Beauty loves its collaborations. We've seen it collaborate with brands such as Krispy Kreme, Air One, which I am going to talk a little bit more about later on in the episode. But they also really like to collaborate with other influencers. So for an example, there is an Italian influencer and model called Alexandra. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce her surname because I will definitely butcher it. She has 1.3 million followers across her social platforms and is really known for her kind of it girl style, and people really want in on that lifestyle, who automatically seems like the perfect partner for Rhode. So that's exactly what they did. They partnered with her on a Paris-based campaign to promote their new lip cases in the new color range. And this reached an audience who is already primed to just drink up this kind of content. So they have similar audiences, obviously, because of this whole it girl vibe, whereas Alexandra's audience is European in comparison to Rhode, who is obviously largely dominant in the US. So this ultimately boosted the brand awareness in Europe, and it achieved an average of a 42% engagement rate. Now, all of this organic content works because it's not scripted. It's not some clean, polished ad with a big marketing budget and a film crew and a creative team. It's not some polished final thing that's had a bunch of money thrown at it. It's honest, it's organic, and it's authentic content, which aligns with today's customers' values, and obviously now is part of Rhode's values also. And as a result of this, the brand automatically feels a lot more relatable, a lot more approachable, and people want to feel like they are a part of this community that Rhode has created. Now, despite all of these digital marketing efforts, they definitely don't neglect the traditional offline methods either. So Hailey very much has done a lot of interviews thinking of Vogue, Cosmopolitan, Bloomberg, Good Morning America as well. But one of the offline marketing strategies that they've used that you are probably most familiar with is their Rhode Booth on Tour pop-up, which we have seen pop up across the world, as well as probably more famously at Coachella. Now, this is a traveling photo booth that is in multiple locations, and it is essentially an aesthetic on-brand photo booth experience, which is covered in the signature branding. Fans can take photos, they can try products, and even get a complimentary lip tint as well. So in-person brand activations are personally a favorite marketing tool of mine, purely because it transforms those online fans into in-person, real-world advocates. Because instead of just double tapping on Instagram, they are actually showing up in person, which creates an even deeper emotional connection than solely digital marketing. Now, these pop-ups also have an element of exclusivity. Whenever you see brands doing pop-up events, it's always for a limited time only, and it's essentially why they're called pop-ups, because they are exclusive, because they are almost inviting you to become part of this experience in person. And you see such an influx of diehard fans of these brands who are just dying to get in that queue, which is another reason why Rhode taking their booth worldwide was such a smart move, because no fans across the world are going to feel left out either. Now, aside from this exclusivity element and the customers, diehard fans feeling like they are actually part of something special and feeling that connection with the brand, they're also creating these shareable moments that the fans are desperate to take a snap of, to share on social media, creating even more organic content that makes others, again, feel like they're missing out. In fact, the space was literally designed to be photographed. You go into the photo booth, you take your little photos, you get your free lip balm, and even if you just Google it, the amount of photos you can find on social media of people taking the little pictures of their photo booth prints. People are sharing these photos as a badge of honor, and almost like they were part of this club. So people have gone there, they've got the momentum to prove that they were there, and they feel special about that. And again, this even further just fuels that exclusivity, fueling demand, but also just makes them feel seen and appreciated by the brand and like they are part of that community. So to summarize how Rhode has created visibility through their marketing, they are inspiring UGC content through social challenges, resharing, PR and seeding, and affiliate programs. They are reaching new audience through collaborations and traditional PR marketing in publications. And also they're taking it offline to create in-person advocates through pop-ups and activations. So now we move into our final pillar, which is demand and desire. So you see Rhode popping up everywhere. The GPS in your brain is now navigating you towards the Rhode content even more subconsciously, and you recognize that it's a world that you want to be a part of. It feels like an extension of your values and your lifestyle. But what makes you actually hit the buy button? Almost 70% of shoppers abandon their carts. So how do Rhode keep the momentum through every single touch point, ensuring that they're turning their brand fans into loyal customers? Demand and desire. People don't just buy Rhode Beauty because their glazing milk is really good. They don't just buy it because their lip balm is a really pretty color. They buy it because they want to be a part of that world and that universe that Hailey Bieber has created. They want to be in on that in club. You can't just rely on your product itself to make the sale. You could have the literal best freaking lip balm in the world, but if you're not building a campaign, a world, a theme, a lifestyle around it, then your customers just simply aren't going to have that desire to want to purchase it. So, how does Rhode create demand and desire? And it is simple psychological marketing, wait lists, limited edition drops, pre-ordering, and generally just using FOMO and scarcity marketing as a main tactic. Every single new product or restock has a wait list, and this attracts literally hundreds of thousands of fans, and this sets up extra hot leads that are already ready to purchase before the product has even been released, so that when that first email goes out, these people have their alarms set, okay? It doesn't matter where they are in the world. It could be 2 a.m., it could be 4 a.m., it could be 5 in the afternoon while they're just finishing up work. They have got their alarms set and they are ready to click that buy button, knowing that it is a product that they want to collect, that they want to buy, that they want to experience. They want to be in on that group of people that have been able to say, yeah, I was the one that got a hold of one of those limited edition lip balms. And this has a perceived exclusivity to it. You feel lucky if you manage to get access. People naturally hate missing out. So when Rhode launches a limited edition drop, they feel like collector's items, especially to those die-hard cult fans. And this gives them a reason to come back and continue collecting. And altogether, this creates that sense of FOMO. People hate losing something more than they love gaining something. Studies in behavioral psychology literally show that people are twice as motivated to avoid loss than they are to pursue a gain. So when a customer sees something like only 3 left, hurry, countdown ending soon, or limited edition product only, it triggers the emotional response and reaction in the brain of, hey, I might actually lose out on this opportunity, which often then overrides the logical part of your brain and it leads to action. FOMO marketing also increases value. So if something is hard to get, we automatically assume that it is more valuable, which is why when you see those brands that are just consistently on sale, they constantly have the 50% off discount codes, we automatically see them as less valuable because they don't have that exclusivity attached to it. But FOMO also works as a community. So if everybody else is excited about this product, then I should be excited about it too. Rhode will often share their figures across socials and marketing platforms. So things like 120,000 people have joined this waitlist, join them too. And your feed suddenly becomes flooded with comment sections and content of lots of people talking about how badly they need the product among the PR influencer unboxing. So your brain is constantly being fed, I need this, I need to be a part of this, I'm missing out, everybody else is experiencing this and I'm not, so I need to experience it. It is a natural psychological response in your brain. This all creates social pressure. As human beings, we crave belonging. We don't want to be the last one to know or the one that missed out or the one not in on it. So the next time that you see a viral product selling out, just ask yourself, is it because the product is great or is it because people simply want to be in the club and don't want to miss out? When this happens, and you have a killer product that you know gets the results and you have the social proof to back that up, that's when you get those cult loyal fans who keep coming back time and time again to obsess over your brand, to purchase every product drop that you may release. But I hear you asking, how on earth did they get people on those waitlists in the first place? I posted an Instagram story with a waitlist for my new campaign and I got 3 people to sign up. So how is she doing it? Rhode Beauty and generally Hailey herself are experts at setting trends. Before Rhode even launched in 2022, Hailey took to Instagram to start constantly posting her skincare routines using the phrase, I want to go to bed looking like a glazed donut. Now, if I say glazed donut, I'm sure a lot of you already know what I'm talking about. We've seen the glazed donut makeup trend. We've seen the glazed donut nails that were popularized and the trend was set by Hailey in the first place. She infused this phrase into every single piece of content, every single interview that she did, get ready with me videos, TikTok lives, the works, showing off her glassy skin without even pushing a product, but using that glazed donut phrase. Glazed donut skin not only became a trend, but it was a look that people were desperate to replicate and achieve. Other creators started sharing their Hailey Bieber glazed donut skin, nails, and before long, she had created this aspirational lifestyle that was incredibly desirable, but simple and achievable at the same time. So when Rhode did eventually launch their first core product, all of a sudden, you had a product that you could attach to this achievable lifestyle, and the way that you achieved it was by purchasing the product. So Hailey Bieber has set a trend, got people obsessed with it, has talked about it everywhere so you can't avoid it and made you want to take part. You start posting your glassy skin tutorials, and then Miss Bieber herself goes and launches a product that you can use to get the exact look you've been craving to create in the first place. That is genius marketing, my friends. We now see Hailey doing this for basically literally every single campaign and collection and product that Rhode ever releases. And the content behind these campaigns is dominated by a very good balance of UGC and aspirational lifestyle vibes, i.e. sharing an aesthetic summer mood board to promote their new pocket blushes. Now, we cannot ignore how Rhode uses sensory marketing to push their new collections and emphasize the trends that Hailey Bieber sets even more. Rhode don't just sell skincare, they sell experience, feeling, and familiarity. We have all seen how food marketing has gone completely viral and basically every single brand has jumped on it, but arguably Rhode were the pioneers of this trend and still do it the best, in my opinion. It is one of their most powerful marketing tools. For example, when we look at the launch of their cinnamon roll lip treatment, which I believe was a limited edition peptide lip balm, this featured a warm, brown shaded photo shoot with lots of cinnamon rolls. It featured a collaboration with Community Goods on a cinnamon latte, the release of a cinnamon roll recipe, a unique campaign logo that was surrounded by cinnamon sugar, and altogether the cozy theming of the campaign was absolutely everywhere. You could not avoid it, which again links in with that visibility that we spoke about earlier. Food is emotional. It taps into nostalgia, memory, and comfort. Think about the smell of cinnamon rolls and what that makes you feel. Cozy, Sunday, autumn baking, snuggling up on the sofa with an episode of Gilmore Girls. Food marketing activates the limbic system, which is the part of brain that is tied to emotion and memory, not logic. So before the customer even knows what the product is or does, they already know that it is something familiar and comforting, which is an emotional shortcut to trust and purchase. It also makes products literally craveable. Think about just some of Rhode's most popular tint shades, so vanilla, raspberry jelly, PBJ, espresso. These create an appetite for the product. Nobody needs another lip balm, but everybody wants a bite of something delicious. The more that Rhode uses multi-sensory elements in their marketing, the stronger the conversation, the satisfaction, the loyalty. The campaigns aren't just visual, they evoke touch, taste, smell. Even just looking at their copywriting, it always features words like glazed and juicy, creating that association with their products, but also creating that appetite at the same time. You don't need a 10-step educational campaign to get people to want your product. It just has to feel like home before they purchase it. So to summarize, Rhode creates demand and desire through FOMO and scarcity marketing with waitlists, limited edition product drops, and pre-ordering to make people feel like they are missing out. They are experts at creating viral trends before a product has even launched, so when it does launch, it is the perfect accessory for fans to achieve that aspirational lifestyle. Their marketing also heavily uses food and nostalgia marketing to tap into multi-sensory experiences and make their products feel more craveable and familiar. So we know differentiation, visibility, and demand and desire are how Rhode Beauty has cultivated this cult brand experience. So now I want to briefly break down one campaign to show you how the full picture comes together. Cue the strawberry glaze lip treatment. Launched in August of 2023, this has become a favorite product line in the Rhode community. Literally, people are begging for Rhode Beauty to bring it back to the market, but it is a limited edition product drop, so I doubt that they ever will, which also means that you can now buy them on eBay for a stupid amount of money, which just goes to show the popularity and demand of Rhode's products. But what made this campaign so successful in the first place? Firstly, Rhode collaborated with Krispy Kreme for this launch, and they brought back their limited edition strawberry glazed donut just for this launch. This allowed Rhode to tap into Krispy Kreme's audience and brand recognition to bring those two audiences together and increase that visibility on the brand. Speaking of collabs, she also collaborated with Air One to launch a signature strawberry smoothie, which helped position the product in the high-end wellness space and emphasizing the lifestyle behind the brand. Not to mention, again, tapping into that food marketing, but in a more real sense. You can actually buy the smoothie and taste it. You can actually buy the donut and feel it in your hands and feel that glaze and see how it cracks over the top of the donut to replicate how the lip balm is going to feel. She is taking food and sensory marketing into a very literal sense by releasing all of these food collaborations, and we still see her doing it now with some of her product launches. Hailey also started the Strawberry Girl makeup trend with those flushed cheeks and glossy lips, really like pink and feminine, and the trend didn't happen as a result of the product. Hailey started it and then gave followers a product to recreate the look with. In exactly the same way, she's been setting trends for all of these 3 years for every single launch with Rhode Beauty. She also posted behind the scenes content, get ready with me's, and Krispy Kreme runs to just emphasize that collab and add an element of playfulness to it as well. The general marketing was very clearly strawberry themed, which I think goes without saying. Tapping into those kind of psychological, aspirational summer feelings, she had campaigns of fresh strawberries and red gingham picnic blankets in the sun, which just reinforced the feeling and the world behind the brand. Now, of course, they also use seeding with influencers because it is one of their most successful tactics. These influencers received custom gift boxes, which were styled like a giant strawberry, and when you open them up, they had the donuts and the new lip product inside. The unboxing content absolutely exploded across platforms. In fact, to show the hype, I actually found the strawberry PR box selling online on eBay for £90, which just goes to show how popular every single thing that Rhode does, that people are literally paying money for an empty box of a piece of PR marketing. They also created FOMO through people sharing their unboxing experiences once they had bought the product, because there was exclusive merch that you could get your hands on, aka exclusive little strawberry stickers, which also are now selling online for a large price tag. Again, emphasizing how Rhode Beauty has literally become this collector's edition type brand where people are literally wanting to get their hands on every single piece of merch, as well as every single product, every single box, every single piece of like thank you cards that they're releasing out into the world. People are collecting these and building collections. It's no longer just a skincare or a beauty or a makeup brand. It is literally becoming something that people are displaying on their shelves. The campaign worked because it didn't just rely on the product itself. The addictive campaign spanned multiple levels using sensory marketing, emotional storytelling, FOMO tactics, and that is the Rhode blueprint. So how can you steal that cult blueprint without needing $1 million budget or Hailey Bieber's celebrity star face influence? Let's get into it. Tip number 1 is world building. Rhode is never just selling a lip balm. They are selling a mood, they are selling a lifestyle, they are selling a feeling. Your product doesn't just exist on a shelf, it exists in someone's life. So what is that life that you are creating? It's not just about trends like the clean girl or that girl. It's about creating a world that your customer literally wants to live in and letting your product be the entry point of that world. So grab a pen and paper and just jot down, who is your customer at their most aspirational self? Picture them using your product. What are they doing? Where are they? Who are they with? For example, if you are a candle brand, you are not just selling a clean linen candle. You are selling the Sunday reset ritual. Fresh laundry, open windows, clean bedding, intentional living. Give each of your products a spotlight, give it space, give it a theme and a lifestyle that you can build your marketing around. Tip number 2, create signature brand moments. World building is about creating that lifestyle. Signature brand moments are how you invite people into it. Think about Rhode. They have the hashtag Rhode routine, the UGC content, the pop-ups, the collabs, all of which can feel unachievable to slightly smaller scale brands. And I understand if you're thinking, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. I do not have the budget. I do not have the resources for these things. So here are some ways that you may want to think about doing this. You can create exclusive merch. I mean, look at Hailey Bieber's strawberry glaze stickers, for example. You can create a recurring series for social media that keeps people informed, educated, entertained, but builds upon that lifestyle that you've created. For each product or campaign that you launch, pick a signature visual style. This may be a theme, a color, a specific logo, a prop that becomes the anchor and recognizable feature of the campaign. For example, a margarita glass full of cherries for your new cherry scented hair oil. Create micro interactions that build your community. It could be a recipe, a playlist, a challenge. Tip number 3, fuel that desire. Once you have created a world and you are familiar with the lifestyle and experience that you are creating, you need desire. People know who your brand is and they like it and they're vibing with it, but now it has to become the thing that they can't stop thinking about, even if they don't need it. Remember all of those tactics that Rhode has utilized to create FOMO and urgency marketing? So waitlists, limited edition drops, pre-ordering, countdowns. If you're not currently planning to release any new products anytime soon, just pick one of your products to relaunch and build a brand new lifestyle campaign around it. You may even want to add a special moment, like an exclusive piece of merch, like we spoke about, exclusive packaging, or even a collaboration with another brand. Ask yourself, how can I build anticipation before it goes live? What is that unique story and world around my product that is going to get people on those wait lists? Can you make it feel like if they don't get on that wait list, they are going to miss out? Let's rewind. Rhode Beauty did not become a cult brand because Hailey Bieber is famous. Plenty of celebrity brands exist and flop, but what makes Rhode different is the intention behind every single decision. You don't need millions of followers or a celebrity face to build a brand, but you do need to start acting like your brand is worth obsessing over. You've heard the Rhode blueprint. Now it is yours to do with as you please. You've been listening to the Cult Brand Podcast. I am your host and brand builder, Katie, and if this episode has given you the motivation, the desire that you need to start moving the needle in your business, then make sure to share it on your socials and tag at the Cult Brand Pod, or even just tag me at by Katie Proctor, because you bet I will be in your DMs cheering you on. I'll see you all next week.